Alright guys, I'm going to do a video to help you get started with your new Amazon Fire Stick. Um, this is likely to be the first thing that you see when you plug it into your HDMI and get it plugged into the power cord. If this isn't the first thing you see, then you'll likely see the network settings, which we'll get to in just a second. So if you're on this screen, if you look at the bottom, it says press the back button to modify the network settings. The back button is a little curvy arrow. So you hit that. It'll say scanning for networks. Wait for that to complete and it should come up with your home network and whatever else is in range right now. So we're going to select our home network. And then we're going to enter in the password. And I'm not going to do it because obviously I'm already connected to my network. But once you enter in the password and click done, it'll connect to your network. And then it'll bring you to this screen here, registration screen. Now, once you're connected to your network, there's one other thing that you can do that would make your life a lot easier, and that's on any smartphone. You should be able to get it on iOS. I have it on Android here. You can download the Amazon Fire TV app, and that lets you use your phone as a remote. You should see something like this when you open it up, asking you which one you want to connect to. In this case, we're going to connect to this one here because it's unnamed as of yet because it's not registered. Once it connects, it'll give you a 4-digit code. The 4-digit code will pop up on the screen and you type it into your app. And then it'll connect and pair, and then you'll see this as your basic remote. It's the exact same thing as the little remote on your that comes with it, except there's the keyboard option. And the keyboard option makes life a lot easier when you're typing in your registration info. Now keep in mind that every Amazon Fire Stick needs to be registered. Doesn't matter what Amazon account you use. You don't have to have Prime or anything like that. But it has to be registered to an Amazon account. You can make one specifically for your stick. Doesn't really matter. I have mine on my personal account. Don't have any worries. I use a dummy account to set them up just in case I forget to deregister it or anything like that. But we're going to click on register there. Then we're going to use our spiffy little phone keyboard to type in the email address. And then you can hit the play button for next. It should pop up on your phone with the keyboard for the password. If it doesn't, just click the little keyboard icon on the top right hand side. Type in your password. And then hit done. And it'll automatically register your stick. Continue as this person? Yes, continue as this person. I just put in my login information. Why would I not? And then here we go. This is the home screen of the Amazon Fire Stick. Now this is the older home screen. I'm going to show you how to get to Kodi and Mobdro if they're not on your main screen. And I'm also going to show you how to update to the newer software. So if you don't see links to Kodi and Mobdro as soon as you get activated right here, they would likely be in your recent history. So we're going to go down to apps, and then they should be directly here in your apps library. You can even add them to favorites. That way it's easier to find. And these are the two apps that I traditionally install. Mobdro is very simple. You open it, scroll down, and you have the opportunity to select all sorts of different content. There's movie channels, there's tons and tons of different content, regular ABC, CBS, the CW, PBS, A&E, AMC, and it all works quite well. Keep in mind that a lot of the live TV stuff has to do with how many people are using it. This looks like it's working quite well right now. Anyway, I'm going to hit back and get out of there. But yeah, that was just a brief view of AMC, and you got Nickelodeon, Spike, National Geographic, FX. I could go through and tell you over and over and over again all the different things that are here, but really all you need to do is scroll through. If you hit back, you also have movie channels. Like I said, you've got channels playing movies 24/7, action movies 24/7, horror, comedy, Star Trek versus Star Wars, Harry Potter versus Lord of the Rings, which literally means it's just playing one or the other all year round. It's wonderful. Also, there's sports. Tons and tons of sports channels on here. You can watch ESPN. There's Sky Sports. That's one of the popular IP sports opportunities. There's BT Sports. There's the WWE Network. There's also the NFL Network. Where is it? ESPN2, Fox Sports. You got the NBA TV. You got MLB Network, NBC Sports, NFL TV. I haven't used Momdro to specifically watch any live games, but through any one of these providers, aka Sky Sports, BT Sports, you can check on when they're going to be airing what when. So that's about it. Now we're going to go back to apps and find the Kodi app, because that's what everybody's all about in terms of all the extra streaming content. We're going to open the Kodi app here. Now keep in mind, these are all things that I've installed. This is not stock on any Amazon Fire Stick. If your Amazon Fire Stick doesn't have it, that means that you probably didn't buy it from someone who was doing this. You're not going to get it just out of any stock Fire Stick. So once you open Kodi, it takes a second for everything to load up. But this is the Echo build. I've installed a few different builds over the time I've been selling them, but I'm always trying to change it up and make it better. If you have any questions about what build to use, or if you can update your build, hit me up. I'm more than happy to discuss how to do that for you. In this build, like I said, it's very easy to use. When you open it up, you can first scroll through all of the main menu options here. Box sets for her, for him, sports, TV shows, movies, TV guide, meaning that you can literally watch live TV through Kodi as well. And the TV guide in here is pretty in-depth. It actually has a lot of the listings of what's going on the Sky Sports channels and a lot of the other IPTV channels as well. So that can be very beneficial when trying to watch live TV through Kodi or through Momdro. As you can see, I haven't run it before, so it's doing all of its first setup updating. Give it another minute just so that I can show you what it looks like. Here we go. This is the kind of thing that you'll see in the TV guide section of Echo. This is one of the reasons that I like this this add-on a lot more than a lot of the other ones. Like I said, it's kind of got a good smattering of what's out there. A lot of times when you see no program available, it's because that program is specifically something that runs 24/7. For example, these are all individual channels like Adventure Time always on, Looney Tunes always on, The Simpsons always on, Invader Zim constantly playing. So there's no programming to tell you about. Yeah, and then you can just select one of those and select a stream, or you can use it to figure out which Sky channel you want to watch a a sporting event or something of that nature, and then you can either go back to the main menu and use one of the individual add-ons to tune into that. A lot of times that'll be the more beneficial way as well, because different sources get overwhelmed sometimes, and watching live TV is the hardest part of the accessibility in Kodi, just because it is so popular and the servers get overwhelmed, and then it can be a pain in the butt and it gets all choppy and stuff like that. Largely I like to use this mostly for movies and TV that's already aired. In movies you can see there's some really recent ones on here already, like the new Rogue One, and there's also plenty of old stuff like Love Actually, the original Star Wars. There's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. And these are all directly available right in the menu. If you hit down, you can select that little search in that right hand side over there, and then you can type in something to search for. You can also use the keyboard on the app that I was telling you about. So you click on one of those, and then you can just type in like that. Makes life a lot easier instead of trying to use the traditional remote for it. And then you can also use any one of the individual add-ons. They all have different interfaces. They're all kind of the same content largely. Sometimes one breaks, one goes down. Switching to another is just an easy way of making sure you're always getting your content. It's a free service. It's not perfect. Be 100% about that all the time. So, and I mean, you can watch just about anything that's ever aired on TV through the streams here. You also have the sports, different channels there, and kids, for him, for her. On Demand's where you're going to find all of your pay-per-view content. Didn't mean to click on that. But you've got baseball, basketball, Formula One racing, football, IndyCar. You can see down here you got UFC's Finest has all the pay-per-view events. WWE On Demand has it as well. Boxing. Should be all the sports stuff you could ever need. You can stream music. And then you have the add-on section, which is where all of the add-ons are hosted. And Echo Wizard here has all of your settings for Echo. And then system, that's your basic setup info for Kodi. And in the Echo Wizard, you can also go down here to advanced settings. And you can select your device so that it will optimize the build specifically for which device you're using. In this case, we're using the Amazon Fire TV Stick. You could also be using an Amazon Fire TV box, which would be this option here. The NVIDIA Shield. I do offer the same services on other devices, other more complex items, like the Fire TV box or the NVIDIA Shield. It just depends on the pricing of the item, and then I generally just charge $20 to get it all set up for you. So if you ever want one of those things, just let me know. In this case, we're going to select the Amazon Fire TV Stick to optimize it for this setup. And there you go. It says Advanced Settings Installed. You should now see an improvement in buffering. Thanks for using Echo. I'm going to select OK there. I'll back out of here. And then we'll go back around. Now in order to exit, you can either hit the home button on your remote, or you can hit the little power button there at the bottom. And that should also be how you get to your favorites if you favorited anything. I obviously haven't. But there's your power button. We're going to hit that. Exit. And that'll close Kodi up for you. Now the other thing that and once you use Kodi and Mobdro, they should then show up in your recent directly on your home page here, so you can just go directly to them once you switch to the HDMI input. Now the other thing that I said I was going to talk about is what happens with updating it. If you scroll down to settings and then over to system, I believe it's under about, if I'm not mistaken, install system update. That will update your Fire Stick. Now, the reason that I'm specifically showing you this is because once you update the Fire Stick, maybe your programs aren't going to be so accessible. That's not to say that updating your Fire Stick is a problem. That's not to say that you will lose anything if you update your Fire Stick. That's not true. What I'm saying is that sometimes when you update your Fire Stick, the applications will not be right there in front of you as soon as you boot it back up. And then you have to go and find them, which is not the end of the world, but I'm going to show you what you need to do in that instance. I'm going to let this install the update. I'm not going to make you sit through that. And then once it's done, I will take it from there. So once the download is finished, your stick will reboot. It'll go to a blank screen for a minute and then come back up just like this. Do not panic. It'll be all right. And it'll take another minute from here just to boot back up. And then as it's booting back up, it'll show you this screen, optimizing system storage and applications. I don't think it'll take 10 minutes for that to complete, but you know, these tech manufacturers like to cover their butts by exaggerating how long something might take. Plus, they don't want you to call tech support if it's taken 30 seconds, you know. So I'm going to pause again and let this complete and show you how it comes through when it's done. Alright, here we go. This is what we're going to see when it's come back up. It's going to give you a little bit of the information on the update itself. It's given you a much prettier visual now. As you can see, it says try using the menu button for shortcuts like watch or resume. That's a good tip right there. A lot of people don't realize that the menu button can help you in a lot of different situations. Quickly access your favorite apps, games, music, Prime Photos in your apps and games, and that is where we're going to go to to find what we need. So we're going to hit continue here. Now, as you can see, this has gotten a lot more in-depth, a lot prettier. Keep in mind that you can still use any of the apps and such that come with the Fire Stick if you have a Netflix account, if you have a Hulu or an Amazon Prime account. Like, I have Amazon Prime for no other reason than the shipping and whatnot, but it gives you a lot of cool content on the Fire Stick as well. We got lucky in this instance. It still has our recent apps loaded here. I think part of that is because I specifically initiated the update. Sometimes when the update happens on its own, you're not so lucky. So what we're going to do real quick is we're going to go down and find your apps and games. Now, if you're looking at this screen, you're not going to see your Kodi or your Mobdro, and that's because you need to scroll all the way over. And if they are not here, you can click See All, and it will bring up this spiffy list of all your apps and games. And scroll down, and then you should find Kodi and you should find Mobdro. This is also probably easier because we favorited them earlier, and that means that Amazon knows that we like them the best. So the other thing that I'm going to try just now as we're sitting here is I'm going to hit that menu button, and in the bottom right hand corner it shows you options: move to front, uninstall. We're going to move that one right to the front. And then we're going to go down to Mobdro. We're going to hit that menu button again. We're going to move that one to the front too. And you know what? We want Kodi front and center, so we're going to move that to the front one more time. And now those two should be the first things we see when we're looking at our apps and games. And look at that. Yes, it is. So now when you load up, regardless of what's in your recent apps, you'll see Kodi and Mobdro right there. In another video, I'll show you how to do a couple more things in the Fire Stick, maybe install a couple more apps, and also how to update your build in Kodi if you want to change it over to Echo or one of the others. Alright guys, thanks a lot. Hope the video helped. Any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Take care.